Hello. How's everybody doing out there? Peasant chat. That's right. We are talking to peasants, poor people today. Today we're going to talk about the pitfalls or the difficulties of trying to coyote swap a ZR1. It's not. I don't want to say it's not difficult. The biggest issues I'll have going forward is more than likely making the hard parts fit accurately as much as possible. Obviously, they don't make a coyote swap ZR1 oil pan, so that's something I have to come up with. They don't make a bell housing that mates from a from a torque tube from a ZR1 or Z06 to a modular. They don't make the motor mounts. So, and you got to make sure that everything is actually going to fit. Now, it looks very promising, but the hardest part is going to be, in my opinion, is the bell housing. The bell housing is the end-all, be-all of everything. It locates the motor. It centers the input shaft on everything. There's dowels. There's a bunch of transmission, cooling lines that have to kind of be routed around that bell housing. The starter location, all those things, in my opinion, takes precedent over anything else. So a lot of you guys that are saying, Alex, you should go dry sump with the LS9, with the Coyote swap. I go, you don't understand. You don't just go dry sump without worrying about an oil pump, without worrying about the tank. I guess you can use the stock tank, but then we're talking about making everything, the lines, making sure that the oil is actually flowing, external pumps, belt-driven pumps. Craig Walls, I'm sure, knows all about that. I'm sure his setup is dry sump because I think at that power level, right, Craig Walls, I think you're usually at dry sump to make sure everything is super kosher, and it's usually your fuel pump is also your oil pump. Those Peterson, I think they make those oil pumps. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about Steeda putting out a video of a throttle body upgrade. Guys, 24 Mustangs are just such shit. I can't believe that we are in 2024, end of 2024. There is no tuning solution. There is no daylight for a tuning solution. When I'm talking tuning, I don't care about ProCharger. I don't care about Whipple. I don't care about any of those guys. In my opinion, those guys get favoritism from Ford, and they have to kiss the Ford ring and work within their sandbox. I think once it's all 100% open, like 23 and under, that's when tuning is available. And that's when you'll see guys starting to shove big single throttle bodies on it, or incorporating a Cobra jet or a Haram or turbos, boost controllers, two steps, trans brake. That kind of tuning is the one that, in my opinion, matters. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck, but you know what doesn't suck? The sponsors of the show. They definitely don't suck. We got DNA Performance, DNAperformance.com. I'm hoping that their sponsorship has been worth it. I see a lot of people buy and post on Patreon that they have bought stuff from DNA Performance, and I appreciate them so freaking much for doing that. Shout out to DNAperformance.com. PMAS, 6 the PMAS, the best cold air intake on the planet. Nobody else matters. I'll start doing cold air giveaways every Tuesday until the end of the year. It's just like 3 more giveaways or so. Get you guys on some cold air game. Partfarm.com. They sent the guy out to get a Celine Mustang from the West Coast, and he's driving it back. Kind of a interesting situation. Guy's been pulled over like 1,000 times because it's missing the hatchback. Partfarm.com. Two Auto Solution, Rami Zenon, Auto Solution. I was supposed to meet up with him yesterday. He's at a half-mile event here, but I couldn't make it. I was doing track sessions, remote sessions on a Saturday, taking care of the customers. Two Auto Solution and Bellac Industries, drug dealer wheels, the best drug dealer drag racer wheels. If you want to sell drugs, get into drag racing to try to be legit and try to let people know, hey, I really drag race and that's what I do. That's how I make money, which we know is bullshit because drag racing is a losing proposition. We'll talk about it. Let's say hi to the people here. And before that, we go to richprince.com, YDBT. You're going to get yourself some clothing. You're going to get some merch. You're going to get some stuff for supporting the show. Got a couple of weeks left before you can justify buying these two items, Christmas theme adult short sleeve tee and the Snack Attack I'm going to buy one of each so I can wear it at the gym for, the next month or so and get after it. Sweaters are stickers. I'm starting to see Amory and YDBT stickers on cars again, which is super nice to see. I appreciate your support, man. This actually matters. It makes a difference. And, it really helps me, keep going forward and affording the projects that I can afford. Bring you guys some content on. Touchdown, Monty 540, Coyote Kelly, B. Lavesh, Clean on 3GT, Clint Stroke, Wesley Stewart, Z303, Camzilla, Frank, Joe Jackson, Joe Swish, Sam Morales, Dixon, Matt Oliver, Ken McAllister, The Fish, Mark Christensen, Arturo Hermosillo, TJ Sikorsky, Mini by Madman, Bryson Witt coming in here and letting people know that Rich Print and Patreon is where you want to be if you want to be up on game. Craig Walls, Johnny, JD Swag, Gregory Outfits, JD Swag, RoboStyle, Cole, Daniel, T. Nelson, Rich Fevel, Phil Fez. How did it go? Did you go to the track yesterday? Abdullah Alabasi, Oscar Hernandez, Peter Chow, Jeff Betts, Lord have mercy on those peasants. Jeremy Smith, Capcom Racing is going to send me some shirts. Ivan D, SI50, SVT SI50, Francisco 661 Racing. Dude, this car ran a great number yesterday. First time out, twin turbo, Coyote Swap GT500, S197, badass shit. Joseph Ramon, SVT mile an hour, Louis Lou, Fly Jock, Chris Anderson, Twitch, FPV, Josh Roy, 661 sending the kid $50. Thank you so much. Hey, all I did was review logs. You guys built a pretty damn good car. Congratulations. SK, JD Swag, Matt Class, Craig Walls, close. Mine is a single stage external wet sump pump with the fuel pump driven off of the back of the oil pump. Okay, so I'll talk about that a little bit. 101 RTR, Joe Swish, Alfredo Diaz, JD Swag, Joe Swish, Jake Ryan, Kona Blue, EPA, sorry I'm late. Good morning. What's up, EPA? How's the cookie business going? Let me see what you guys got going on in the cookie place. Let me see. Oh my God. Oh my God, cookies is still there. Let me see what give you guys a free plug. Sweet talk to us. Oh, we'll skip that. Look at the website. Give these people a little bit of a shout. It's been a little while since we've talked about Oh my God cookies with the Christmas theme. Got the hot chick on the left and the super hot man on the right, Mr. EPA himself with the Apple Watch. Homo. So, yeah, check out their Oh my God, I will eat that and it'll come out exactly the same. I guarantee if I eat this cookie, it'll come out exactly the same. We got the LMNOP. It should just be called the YDBT cookie. Keep it going. Nothing but fun. They got cookie dough. If you really want diabetes, go get yourself some cookie dough. So yeah, check them out. DohMyGodCookies.com. They're not a sponsor, but we still support. Even though the EPA goes after us in terms of the tuning world, we support their cookie. Wow, what is this, jizz? Why don't you just call it I don't know, cream pie, a honey bun cheesecake. It's great. It's good to see EPA here. Nice little free plug for the kid there. Where are we? Jesus Christ. Tuned for Speed says good morning, Theo Marcos, Alice Gutierrez, Grant Winburn, Demon, Bryson Witt, Illuminator, Will E. Coyote, Wiley, Oliver Bryan, 661. Yes, sir. From the shop straight to the track. Want a solid number? Time to turn it up. Dude, that car is going to be it's probably going to hit the number you think it's going to hit that we talked about. I don't want to give out numbers because you probably do a lot of street racing. EPA, 661 Racing, JD Swag, Jeffrey, and call that cookie cream pie. Absolutely call that cookie cream pie. So, do you plan on putting the blower on the ZR1? Let's talk about that. So, if you go to my video and you go to the comments, I think people are under the impression that this thing's going to be an A. Someone said, can't wait to see this car done. I'm glad. Most of them are positive, but someone said GM body control module. Okay, this is good. I'll have to read some of these comments to make sure that the body control module and everything be good. So, tubular K member, we'll talk about that. Somebody said, this is a waste of money. You're stupid. Somewhere in there. Again, most of these guys are positive, very positive. And again, the people that watch are fans and supporters. And 3,600 views is really good for not even a day on this situation. Now, obviously, a lot of people saw this and said, "Hey, tubular K member, dry sump, this and this and that." Understand, guys, this car is going to be supercharged. I don't understand why people think that I wouldn't supercharge this. You know what I mean? Like, did you guys think I was going to put an NA Coyote motor in the Corvette? Like, I hope you guys understand. This is getting a 2650. I had the option of getting a Whipple front feed, the blower that went 7s in the black beam. But let's be honest. and I'm going to be 100% honest about this. I don't want to give Whipple a fucking second of airtime on this channel. And I know you guys are like, why not? Plain and simple. I don't like how they move. I don't like how they push shit. I don't like how they literally misinform a lot of people. So, you know, there's certain people that I want to support. I don't dislike them. I just don't want them on my channel, okay? Because I don't want part of it. I'm a 2650 TVS 2300 guy. I've always been that. Since the black car, since the Fairmont has been 870s with a Edelbrock 2650, and most recently the GT500 went from a Whipple 4.5 to a 2650, and it made pretty damn close to the horsepower. So I'm like, I don't need anything above and beyond that. So a lot of people are probably under the impression that the ZR1 is not going to get supercharged. It is absolutely going to get supercharged. This car will not start without a supercharger on top of it. The problem is deciding on which one. I'm not going to go 2.3. I'm going to go 2650. Which 2650? We have the E-Force. We have the Roush front feed, which will never happen. I don't think I can get my hands on the latest and greatest stuff. We have the rear feed 2650. So there are a lot of options that I can go with out there. But I'll exercise some of those options once it becomes more clear. Again, the moment I put a bell housing on this thing and everything fits, then it's time to party. It's literally time to party. I am literally motor mounts and start slamming wires in this thing, and, you know, coolant system and all that stuff, which I don't think is a big issue. Once you start paring down the harness, and again, you C6 guys would know more than I would. Once I undid all the engine harness stuff from the computer, and again, I had to remove the fender. If you saw the video, I had to remove the fender to access the computer. Good job. Good job there, Chevy. Fucking computer in the fender. Luckily, it wasn't that much of a pain to take out, but once I did that, took the tank off, now I have some room. I ran the harness under the car, and now I have room to work with. But the problem is going to be still the fitment of the oil pan. It's either going to have to be a custom oil pan, or some of you, yes, someone said the Predator blower. I understand. There's the Predator blower, there's the E-Force, there's the Odin, which I'll never put the VMP version of that shit on there. Fuck no, never. Now if Maggie did their own thing, because it is a Magnuson blower, let's be honest, that'd be even better. But I don't think I can get their latest and greatest shit on the car because I don't even think it's available. But I'd love to be able to work with somebody. But again, that is still up in the air. But the other solution, believe it or not, because once you start typing tubular K-member for a C6, you come up with some stuff. TRZ Motorsports. TRZ. Let me see. TRZ. Motorsports. This is going to... People are like, why don't you just get another K-member? Well, I'd rather get a custom oil pan than a K-member. So we're going to look for... Let's look together. Because TRZ makes some badass stuff. General chassis suspension. General chassis. Does it give you an option for C6? No. Does it give you a search bar? C6. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Shop TRZ. Here we go, right here. This is the problem with, you know, because it's not very common. It's insanely expensive. And this is race car shit only. This is if you're going to make your C6 a complete race car. They sell a C5, C6 Corvette Outlaw front suspension. $3,700. You want to upgrade the motor pads? Sure. You want to upgrade to billet aluminum spindles? Sure. And then you still have to get your set of race brakes on this situation because you cannot use the stock ceramic brakes because of the spindle stuff. So they make stuff for it, but it is ridiculously expensive. Now, I wish I could just buy this and incorporate all the stock stuff. But apparently you cannot, and there's a bunch of room. Like apparently you have a bunch of room in there. So I think it's better to make a custom oil pan than to buy a $30-something $100 K-member for the thing. Okay. Now the moment that happens, fuel system. That's the other thing. The fuel system is something that I really got to think about because after watching a a YouTuber's video on how the fuel tanks work, how they can come off on the side, but there's a big tube in the front that brings them together. It made me realize that I can tap into the bottom of the tank, but the problem with tapping into the bottom of the tanks is that the fittings are always loose. So it's almost better to have a module in there that pumps through the stock stuff. But I think it's going to have to be like a 4 Innovations fuel system. But I think I can get away with the stock stuff if it turns on. That's the other thing. If I key on, will the pump turn on, or does the computer and everything have to be connected still for the fuel pump to actually go on? Because it is a variable fuel pump. It can go high, low, depending on demand. So if the computer is not connected, will the pump pump? Can I hotwire the pump on full time? Who knows? All that stuff has yet to be figured out. So I think a different oil pan is my best bet. The problem is it has to be so shallow towards the front of the motor, and it has to have the sump so far back that it's going to be pretty difficult. Now, people say, why not go dry sump? So this is the issue. Peterson oil / fuel pump. These are the type of pumps that are needed in order for you to run a dry sump. Now, I think the LS9 has an incorporated pump in the tank that allows, the mechanism to pump oil through the engine, and it is dry sump. But if you don't have that and you go with an aftermarket fuel pump, you need a belt-driven fuel pump, and it's fuel / oil. This has a fuel side and an oil side, and it's going to be, $1,500. Now, forget that. That's just the pump. Now we're talking about mounting it. Now we're talking about tanks. Now we're talking about bracketry. Now we're talking about lines. Understand, guys, it is not cheap. And now I don't want to have this situation. Now I could do, because I'm a pump guy, I know 100% I can probably incorporate an electric oil pump in the situation, but that's going to be a little more integrated, and you're going to have fail-safes set up in such a way that if the fuel pressure goes under a certain amount, like the engine shuts off. So that's going to be more involved. Again, it's better just to leave it wet sump and get yourself a super custom tank if you have to. If I have to take my Canton oil pan to a fabricator and say, this is what I need, and maybe bring the capacity down a little bit, but maybe a half a quart or a quart, but have it fit. And I think I can put it in from under the car. I think that's also the key. Put it in from under the car. I think that would work. Now, coilover. Let's talk about coilover stuff. Corvette tax is no joke. You're not wrong. So the coilover stuff is something that entices me for a couple of reasons. Number one, the Magna Ride suspension is shot on this thing. It has leaky shocks. It struts, so it's almost worth it going coilover. Coilover stuff is also not cheap. You're looking for, again, suspension is the last thing I'm going to worry about. But if I was to go K-member, you also have to go coilover. You also have to go race brakes. You're talking about $5,000 for front suspension stuff on the Corvette if you go aftermarket K-member, and it is race only. I don't think I would trust that setup on the street slamming turns. That's why I'm trying to keep as much stock stuff as possible. So we can talk about that. Also, Steeda put out a video talking about solar twin 90mm throttle body upgrades for 2024 Mustang. Off the top of your head, if you have not seen the video, tell me how much horsepower you think those things made. Peak and average. Go ahead, guys. I got the chat up while the solar throttle bodies are in the background. Go ahead on the chat. Take a wild guess. Naturally aspirated. How much horsepower 2 90mm throttle body upgrades made on a 24 Mustang peak and average? You guys are, I love you guys. You know why I love you guys? You guys understand that throttle body NA upgrades are stupid. Now, for the stupids that say, but that's 5 more than you had before, you don't understand. You don't understand airflow. You don't understand anything. They got almost nothing out of these. And do you know how much these are? I would guess these throttle bodies are $350 to $500 Wait. Each! Can I look it up? Let me see. Solar 90 millimeter throttle 24 Mustang. Solar Performance 2010. So let's say, let me see if there's a price. 350. So $300, $495. Okay, so $495. We're talking about $495 on average based on what they got going on here. So $500, and after tax, you're going to pay $1,000. And for how much of a horsepower bump? Let's listen to Scott try to explain the $1,000 justification for these throttle bodies.
So we just got done dyno testing the brand new Solar Performance throttle bodies on our otherwise bone stock Dark Horse. It does have our Steeda ProFlow cold air intakes, but stock exhaust system, so only the throttle bodies and the cold air intakes. Now, one of the things we noticed with the throttle bodies that, well, we've known forever is that the driver input doesn't need to be as much for you to go the same speed or faster.
A pedal commander. Let's just get to the power numbers. Holy shit. Love you, bro.
But does it actually make power? Let's go to the graph. So at the peak.
Okay. 2 horsepower at peak. But Alex, what about the middle? What about the middle? 10 horsepower at 3,500 RPMs is worth $1,000? Really? Really?
We saw peak improvements of 2 horsepower and about 3 foot-pounds of torque.
And how do I know that I can't make this exact power with throttle mapping? See, airflow makes more power up top. Also, it's dependent on where they're putting the cams. This is very true because you don't have access to the tuning. You can't swing the cams in a favorable way to benefit airflow up top. But you would think after 5,000 RPMs, you would make more power with 2 bigger throttle bodies, right? Nope. You make torque and a little more power before 5,500 RPMs. Now, if you're one of those guys that says, well, you know, it's more power than I had before, and this is the tax, this is what it is, you know, like we're used to, you know, we're living in the age of not a lot of power because tuning is not available. I get it. I understand it. No problem. 8 to 10 horsepower under 5,000 RPMs, 2 horsepower at peak. What? Remember when I said this is the malaise era for 24 Mustangs? What are you talking about, Alex? Whipple is custom tuning it. If you give it to actual tuners that race, you'll see the big separation in numbers. But because only Whipple, ProCharger, and a couple of others and Roush are gonna have access to this thing, you are stuck with their tuning. The only thing they can hang their hat on is typically stuff like carb exemption or carb EPA, the blue check mark, certified, blah, blah, blah. And unless you're going to go max effort, and you got to go max effort with a Whipple the way they want you to do it without any manipulation, with a 55-pound injector and E30, which is stressing out the fuel system, you're really going to do that? No, the vast majority are going to do bolt-ons. And since there's no tuning, $1,000 for 10 horse under 5,000 and 2 horse over 5,000. This is the malaise era. This is why I told you guys to buy a 23 and under, but a lot of you guys don't believe me. A lot of you guys think I'm full of shit. A lot of you guys think I'm a hater. Okay, $1,000 for 2 peak horsepower. Have fun, buddy. Remove the traps. Put bigger cold air. It didn't add any airflow up top. It didn't make any power. I wouldn't have posted this video. I agree. Engine dress up. He will pour his wife. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ, Mr. Whipple. Jesus Christ. What is happening there? Holy shit. S650 is such a pile of trash, says EPA. No one will ever convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. Anytime any S650, forget S650 EPA, you know there's Mustang fanboys. See, you own a C8 Corvette, twin turbo. I can look at Chevy. Chevy is up 55% in sales. What the fuck is that all about? It's the way I know government motors bailed out, blah, 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 blah. Let's talk about the performance cars, okay? Chevy makes multiple performance variants of multiple vehicles. They have 3 versions or 4 about to be of the C8, okay? And they are Chevy branded, meaning Chevrolet offers these. Not Roush, not Whipple, not RTR. Chevy. Corvette, the base C8, the Stingray if you want to count that, the Z06, the E-Ray, which to me is the most underrated, their best vehicle is, in my opinion, the E-Ray. And then you're going to get the ZR1 shoving it up your ass. And then in about a year, you're going to see the Zora hybrid version of the ZR1 making 1,200 plus horsepower. That is mind-blowing. That is one platform that they have like 4 versions of. Then let's talk about the Cadillac side of things. They have the CT5 Blackwing. They also have the twin turbo variant that is tunable today. And they also have the Cadillac Escalade V, tunable. You can upgrade the blow. You can port the blower. You could upgrade that car. Yeah, you're going to pay a bunch of money. It's stupid, but it's available in 2024. What does Ford offer for performance vehicles? Don't tell me anything about the fucking Maverick, Raptor, Bronco. Oh my God, shut the fuck up. It's the Mustang. And they only make the Dark Horse and the GT, which is the same fucking vehicle, let's be honest. And aftermarket companies, Whipple, Roush, RTR, offer variants, not the company itself. That says something. But a lot of you guys are just fanboying, saying, oh, at least they made something. Chevy is kicking your nuts in when it comes to the performance car shit. Just with the Corvette. What do you mean, Alex? It's a $100,000 car. You don't think? Go ahead, get a Dark Horse or a GT, shove all the Whipple bullshit on it, make it all work. Tell me how much your tab is. And it's only tunable by one person. Get the fuck out of here. That's terrible. You beat the pedal commander you beat a pedal commander is cheaper. I think you meant you bet. At this point, they should have looked at each other and say, okay, let's not post this video. No, I think Steeda is understanding the landscape. You could make a negative video with the intent on it being a positive. You understand? They've made a video. Solar probably said, hey, we'll give you 2 throttle bodies for your silver bullet. For now, test it on the Dark Horse, put it on the dyno, see what it is. Okay, cool. And then they go, look, it made 10 horsepower and 5. And they're like, that sounds great. And then someone like me goes, it's $1,000. $1,000. How much are a set of, okay, how fast can you go in a GT, 24 GT, with no boost? Let's say high 10s, but that's like gutting it, making it super light. Let's say take the new car aspect out of it. Take the new car aspect out of the thing. You just want to go fast. Are you going to buy a $50,000 GT, gut it, put headers on it, E30 like a fucking retard dumbass, a complete drag pack, dump the exhaust, make it loud and basically a Fox body to run 1090, 11.0 for what? $55,000, $60,000, $65,000? And then you go to a track and some guy in a Fox body, SN, even a Gen 1, 2, or 3 Mustang ass fucks the shit out of your S650. And the only thing you can do is say, well, at least it's new. That's, you are starting to act like the Honda guy. The Honda guy has a built-in excuse. Their motor is small. Their car is small. They only have 4 cylinders. Well, you sound like a Honda guy. It's fast for what it is. No, it's not. It's a V8 that shares most of the infrastructure with previous generations. And those previous generations have gone 8s on stock motor. Carlos Vergara of LA 10 Speed with a stock fucking motor went 8s with the ESS kit and deep 8s with the Aldo kit. I think that car, once we get that sucker shifting, will be an 8.281 car, stock motor, Gen 3. And if he doesn't care chucking a rod, I think, he could probably go a 7 on a glory run, but I don't know that it's going to be sustainable for a long time. If he gets a built motor in that thing and a turbo 400, it's a wrap. Carlos Vergara, if you get a built FFRE motor in that bitch and a turbo 400 properly spec'd, it's a wrap. You will have a deep 8 or high 7-second car consistently. But again, that's a big investment, and I understand why you wouldn't want to do it. Ford missed an opportunity to do some crazy shit to put intake manifolds where the exhaust would go hot V style, but no turbo. But I can't remove my C8 from the key fob. Not a brand loyalist, so I go with the fastest one. Brand new C8 Corvettes are discounted with rebates now. They're much closer to the cost of an S650 than most people think now. My problem is this, EPA. I want the E-Ray. I want that fucking E-Ray. Isn't 2 horsepower within the percent of range of calling it no gain on the dyno? Exactly, Big Crawl 24. Isn't that within the margin of error, says Ken McAllister. This chat is very up on game. See, this is the problem. The vast majority of people are not on game. The vast majority of people say 2 horse is 2 horse. When we go run to run, it'll vary that. You know what I mean? What if you ran it cold and then it warmed up? Like you can manipulate the dyno in so many ways, and that's the problem with having such minimal gains. You have to have like big separation to be able to say, okay, IAT was different, engine coolant temp was different, hood was closed, the way you should test stuff. Because unless you're driving down the highway with your hood open, no test on a dyno with the hood open matters. It makes no fucking sense to have hood open on a dyno and then try to pop off on power numbers. And I proved that with the Roush intake stuff. I should redo that video, but in much better quality. I had a bad camera, bad editing, bad everything. And I should do that again, probably with the gray car. Mr. Whipple says 2 horsepower on a dyno is 0, minuscule with that temperature running. What car did do in weather change in that 1 hour when the throttle bodies were installed? You're not wrong. Right, they didn't do back to back immediately. He's right. I had the factory Whipple tune on my car and it was slow as shit. Full bolt on 10R was putting buses on me when I went to Lund. Made over 110 wheel horsepower difference. RPM right. Okay, something. Hey Alex, forgot to ask when I race, what should I put the Magna ride setting to? At does it make a difference? I just put it at full loose. Do you have an F-150? I forget. Magna ride? Ford is dropping the ball, but they are getting lazy because Chevy doesn't have a pony car. Neither does Dodge, so they're getting lazy. But I'll buy a UC8 Stingray for $59,000 before a dark horse. Are we doing that? Fuck yeah, Phil Fez. Took the car to SGMP. Did great everywhere. 9.4 at 150. 1.4 60 foot. Same 2.9 upper, 20% lower. Starting to make headway with a good clutch. Get that fucker on a 2.4 tonight. 2.4 pulley. You got the mile an hour. You got the 60 foot. You just need to front half that motherfucker. Or maybe the shifting needs some work because 1.4 should have netted, and a 150 should have netted you an 890 pass. But you're there. Congratulations. I'd love to see it. Let's look at what C8 Corvettes are going for now. So do we go cars.com again? These are some of my favorite segments because we can see in real time. We already looked up a Laguna Seca Ball 302, so that's going to be something. I don't think I would buy a base C8. Only reason is because for the money, I want a Stingray. I want an E-Ray. Sorry. Used? Yeah. Nah, let's do new. New Chevy Corvette. Corvette. Here we go. All miles. Let's go. Okay. Jesus. This motherfucker's talking about rebates. Yeah. Where's the okay? Let's go used. Holy shit! Fuck me! Look at this. This is big fucking money. What you talking about, bro? Oh my lord! Used. Let's say miles are under. Let's say under. Shit. Minimum price 50. Highest priced 80. 80. Aren't they all the same motors that are not E-Ray or whatever? Let's say no higher than $80,000. Okay. Yeah. Holy shit. Still kind of expensive, no? So look at this. 21. It's 3 years old. $65,000. Hey, EPA, what the fuck are you talking about? You talking about rebates? This bitch is expensive. Rebates. Exactly. He said rebates. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't. Fuck. There is some cool stuff. Says C8s are 10 to 50% off MSRP all over the country. Where? Fuck. Okay, this is C7. Bro, what year did the C8 start? 2020? Okay, so year. Where is it? Year? Where the fuck's the year? Usually they have a year. Any mileage, body style, features. What the fuck? Where's the years? Transmission, body style, single owner, clean title, any mileage, full price, monthly. Didn't they have a year tab? Let's just look at new. Fuck this. Let's look at new because I don't waste my time. Okay. Look at that. So $75,000 for that. So let's look at a Mustang, cars.com. Let's look at a new Ford Mustang. New Ford Mustang. All miles. Holy shit. Okay, so a 2025 Stingray 1LT, $75,000. Okay, then we have a new 1LT, brand new, $71,000, $72,000, $79,000, 2LT, 1LT, 78. So you're looking at $70,000 for a brand new, off the lot, Corvette Stingray. It's tunable. You can put twin turbos on it. You can put a Magnuson blower on it. You can get any one of your shit ass tuners. Look at that. $62,000 for a base Corvette. Now let's look at, okay, so we're looking at a tunable today, superchargeable, E85able, with an aftermarket fuel system, I'm sure, twin turboable Corvette for starting at $70,000. Okay. Brand new Mustang, $92,000. Brand new Mustang, $71,000, $55,000, $55,000, 53, 55, 36. No. Let's look at cylinders, engine, cylinders, 8. 51, 49, okay, 24. Again, not tunable. 50, 55, 59, 65 for a premium GT. This is probably the best. Let's just compare apples to apples here. Let's see a premium performance package GT, like a nice one, or I don't want to say a dark horse because the dark horse kind of skews everything. But let's just say, I think the dark horse is probably a better comparison, right? So this is a dark horse. It is $65,815. This is only tunable by ProCharger Whipple, no aftermarket support, no E85, no bolt-ons. This is a 2025 Corvette. All these Corvettes here, look at all these Corvettes. 70 to high 70s, fully tunable, ready to go right now. Now the problem is the one I want is the E-Ray. I don't give a fuck. Let's take this price and move it up to $150. And then we're going to go E-Ray only. Get rid of everything else. And that's my problem. The one I want is the Billy Badass. The Billy Badass all-wheel drive, hybrid, E-Ray, 120, 140, 120, 120. Bro, big fucking money. And that's the problem. But, you know, at least let's just say you have the option. But what's a Shelby Mustang go for? What's a Roush Mustang go for? Like you're not gonna be into it for cheap money. It's gonna be big, stupid money. So yeah, that's one of those situations that you gotta like. Do I want to go fast with new stuff? Okay, if I want to go fast with new stuff, do I get stuff that's tunable? And if it's only a $8,000 difference, I'd go with the tunable stuff. Auto Traders. Okay, we're talking new. We're talking new. I don't want to do used stuff. Used stuff, you can get used Mustangs for $35,000. $92,000, most definitely keep that motherfucker. Dark Horse are like $80K. You keep passing it. I know. EPA, you're still specified. It's similar to the Supra. Still a lot of demand for exactly what you're doing. Car, it says min-year. Oh, that's why I didn't find it. Cars aren't falling off in price. The new base models are close used with a lot of miles. That's gonna be a tough sell, I think, for a lot of people that just want to get into a car and don't necessarily want to get into a new car. How do you convince people? How do you convince people that it's worth buying a new Mustang? If you can't, again, the hobbyist. If you just want a new Mustang, go get a new Mustang. Go drive around on 91 octane and just chill out. But this channel is a performance-based channel, and most people that fuck with me want to modify their vehicle. And Ford has forced them to look at other brands. It's crazy stuff. I'd never pay more than $45,000 for a Mustang. Probably cheaper. Is the 350 laying around those prices? Yeah, I think the 350 is probably $50,000. If you were to look at a GT350 right now, it's probably about $50,000. So it's in my opinion a good sell, but some people might not think so. Some people might say, it's too expensive, But I think the GT350, let's look at the 350, what it's going for now. The thing is, though, because it's used and so subjective and nuanced, I think you're not going to have a good apples-to-apples comparison with that. I don't think you're going to have a good apples-to-apples comparison with a GT350. So let's go to car for sale. Okay, let's do that again before this thing collapses. Used, because all 350s are used. Ford, Mustang, EFG, Elemental Peak here, Mustang. No max price. Yeah, let's do a max price at $60,000 because that's crazy for a used 350. We're gonna go to 350 base deluxe GT350. Come on. 350. 70. Oh no. GT. Dude, there's no 350s? Really? Unless they make this. Really? Let me see. Open link in new tab. I can't open link in new tab. Let's do that. In case people named it badly. Really? There we go. Minimum year. So 2017, because that's when the, here you go. This thing's gonna, that's why. I gotta uncheck these stupid things. There we go. And year 17 to 20. And then let's see if it says 350. Let's just get rid of the minute. Let's just go 90,000. Watch the 350s open up. Yeah. Dude, what is happening? Why doesn't it have a GT350? That's so weird. That is so weird to me. How come it doesn't have Ford models? What the fuck? Mustang. What is happening? Ford, Mustang. Why aren't there GT350s for sale here? Let me see. Is there cylinders? Okay, 8. Transmission is going to be manual. Transmission is going to be manual because they're all manual. But how come no 350s? It's all GTs. But look at the GTs of 19 Bullet for $37,000. A 20 GT, convertible though. Convertible. Holy shit, convertibles are cheap. It makes sense because you're gay. If you're, look at 2018 with 50,000 miles, $28,000. Like, these are fucking reasonable. And you can get into one of these and put a tune in it and a blower and go 8s tonight. 19 GT for $31,000. Oh, I must have done well on my car because I sold it for good money. I can't find a 350 for some reason, guys. So fuck it. Okay, who cares? But you get what I'm saying. That the 24 Mustang is failing in kind of making it desirable for someone to buy that car and justifying it when throttle body upgrades are $1,000 fucking dollars for 2 peak 10 average. Crazy to me. No thank you. You have to go to Shelby. I think not Mustang. No, it's a Mustang. Stop it. Really? If they do that, it's a Mustang. Look at it. Shelby is not a brand that doesn't sell at Ford. Okay? You don't go buy a Shelby at a Shelby store. You go buy a Shelby at a Ford place. Ford dealership. I bought a Stingray R 2023. Joe, I have a Gen 3 and I prefer my girls Gen 1. D Warrior here. I'm going to go do a 60 to 130. It's 45 degrees right now in Arizona. Boss Rear 2 is the best buy. Strength of a Gen 2. Weight savings of a S197. Solid rear axle. Better geared MT82. The retro styling that I can't imagine you dislike it. There's 40K mile Boss for sale near me for only 29,000 miles. I wish I could have bought that instead of my Gen 1 back in 2022. What's up, Nardi Mercado? How you doing, bro? This thing is about to collapse. You can buy my Gen 3 for 25K. 24 Mustang, failing in everything. I said it from the beginning, and you know, in this position that I'm in, you kind of have to go out on a limb and make predictions based on what the market is doing. I'm not an eternal optimist. I'm not going to sit here and suck Ford's dick. I'm not under Ford's thumb. I don't care if I had Ford access or not. I don't care if I tune or not. Like, my job is not in this capacity, is to report what's happening. And if you're, let's just say, for sale from a big brand like Ford, then you can't look at them objectively and give them proper criticism. And I think that's what happens with the online magazines. So a lot of people that write for, you know, Muscle Mustangs and Fast Fords or Hot Rod or Ford Authority or whatever, I'm sure that they have contacts at Ford, you know, and say, hey, you got to write favorable articles and we'll give you access. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being the mouthpiece of a brand. But understand this. People like myself are popular, quote unquote, because I will criticize the brand that I love the most, which is Ford. And then when I see a better product and a missed opportunity, like a twin turbo V6 or whatever, let's just talk at a supercharged all-wheel drive Mustang, you guys are missing out on something. Why do you think the F-150 is so ridiculously popular? It's 4,000 plus pounds, 4,500 pounds sometimes. Wasn't it close to 5? People are buying it. Why? It's a Coyote 10R80, all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive. That bitch hooks everywhere. Not a lot, and compared to other trucks that are comparably built, I would rather take a stock motor F-150 over a built motor Chevy, you know, line for line, apples to apples. You get me a brand new Silverado, regular cab. It's going to need a built motor. It's going to need an auxiliary fuel system. It's going to need a whole bunch of shit. Whereas a F-150, booster pump, race gas, 14 PSI, that sucker's going to run like a high 9 or a low 10 all day. All day. The King of Petty is here. Tony Wetson, what's up, bro? Says nothing wrong with the Vert. New Verts are sus. They probably have the GT350 listed on the Shelby and not Ford. It's not a Mustang. Oh, yeah, right. Okay, so let's do that. Fuck me. Really? Let's see if you're right about that. Because if they have that, this site is absolute trash. Cars for sale. If they have Shelby under a completely different thing, it's gonna blow my mind. Shelby, SSS, Suzuki, no, maybe is it Ford? Where's it? Fuck me, I can't find it. It was like right under it. Ford. Let's see. Fusion Energy, Mustang, Shelby 350. So it's a Ford. I just hit Mustang. Oh my God, you guys had it under Shelby. You guys are ridiculous. It's a Mustang. Okay, this is close to me. Look at this. Okay, so what are the stipulations? Let's say under 70,000 bucks. We all know this is way better than a Dark Horse and right there with a Stingray in terms of value, fun, all this stuff. This bitch looks nice. Open link in new tab. Not a fan. Let's see it. 60,000 bucks. Black. I'll never buy a black 350 ever in my life. Unless it's an R. If it's an R, yeah. But no, this Avalanche Grays played the fuck out. No stripes. Never, ever. There we go. There we go. No stripes is king. This looks okay. Boy, 17 though. I'd rather have an 18 and up. 18 and up is better. There's a lot of them. Holy shit. Okay, let's really dial this in. Under 60, and let's make sure the year is at least an 18 to 20, so we can get rid of all the ones that we don't love. 17, 18, 17 are sus. 16, 17. Excuse me. I don't know if they came out in 17 or 16. But $50,000. Yeah, I mean, under $60,000, you can find a Shelby GT350 for $22,000. Sorry, 22,000 miles for $47,000. You can get a loan for this. It's about 5 years old, 6 years old. 1950. Let's do 19. Let's really dial it in. Let's make sure you can get a loan. Let's make sure you can get a loan for this thing. 19 and 20. I'm trying. This is like a dealership. Okay, $55,000. Would you rather get a GT350 or a dark horse? Huh? Would you rather get a car, badass brakes, great suspension, I mean, high revving, 5.2, Gen 2 5.2. Oh, bro. Oh, this is no stripe, all black. That's not bad. Nothing wrong with that. Why did you put those wheels on this thing? Are you psycho? So, guys, you can absolutely find an under 30,000 mile GT, under 40, under 45,000 mile GT350 for 50,000 bucks. A high 40s. Not even close. And which one would you opt for if you had $50,000 burning a hole in your pocket? Unreal. Your boy Cleet, Red GMC, had a build motor and made less and slower than the stock motor turbo F-150, says Joseph Roman. Yeah, so I guess Cletus and the guys went to the track, quarter mile raced it on 22s, and the Whipple went 10.3 as expected at 15 PSI. And the twin turbo at 15 or 16 PSI went a lot quicker, almost 0.3 quicker. It went 9.9 at, 138 or 140. Or it was moving. It was moving big time. And that thing is not optimal. You know what I mean? Like, it's not launching on a trans brake. It's not on a two-step. They are foot braking a twin turbo truck with an aftermarket converter, and I think the converter is a pure drivetrains converter. If I'm not mistaken, it's a midnight build transmission, but a pure drivetrains solution converter. And I want to see if they have something. Pure drivetrain solutions. Let me see if they have a website, and let's see if they have a converter part number for Gen 3 10R80 stuff. Torque converters. Ford torque converters. Yep, here it is. 10R80 billet stated torque converter, 2,800 to 4,000 RPM stall options, $2,400. They even have a 10R140. I mean, it's not there, but look at that. So this is, excuse me, if I'm not mistaken, this is what was in those trucks. An aftermarket torque converter. Don't quote me. You reach out to your boy Cleet to get clarity, but it looks like it's this converter that is in that truck. And did you hear how they launched? It carried the RPM high. When you can foot brake a twin turbo truck and cut a 1.5 or a 1.4 60 foot, if I'm not mistaken, it's pretty badass. 350 isn't even close. That blue one without stripes was the one for me. 350 all day, 350 all day. I wanted a 350, but didn't find anything nice for under $60,000. I just saw 3 or 4. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't buy a Vert again. It's what I get for being 16 in 1990 and thinking that's what I wanted. I totally understand it, brother. It's under the Ford tab or GT500s, Orale Homes. Did that motherfucker have EcoBoost wheels on it? It looked pretty much like shitty wheels. After the 350 beating a dark horse, I'll take the 350. 19 plus 350, but I would want a warranty on it still. Imagine a 350 came with a DCT. Abu, are you insane? I want a manual in a 350, nothing else. Okay, but imagine, because the 350 is a road race car, not a drag race car. You see the size of the clutch, you know that thing's not built for drag race. But a DCT and a 500 horsepower car is a track fucking weapon, not drag racing, road race. The DCT is an extra 100 pounds, 2,500 Jesus, exactly. Look, It's not cheap. How much do you think? So, okay, let's look up Circle D. Circle D. Let's look up Circle D torque converters. So if it's a 25, and again, I got a free torque converter from them, so I'm not here to, suck that dick. I appreciate them very much, and I support it, and it runs great. But let's shop for converters. Ford. 10R80. Same price, pretty much. So you're looking at a $2,249 torque converter or a $2,500 torque converter. So $250 difference. So welcome. Now, you want to look at 6R80 stuff, like the one I have, is this guy. And I have probably a 258. So this is probably what I have. Yep. 100 squared. I think I had a 2B. Yeah, it's this one. Do this lockup. Yep. There you go. So this is a $1,500 converter. 6R80 is fucking king. Now, if it's been almost since 2018, so it's been almost 6 years since the 10R80 has been introduced. And it's been sevens a couple of times, but those transmissions don't last long, and that's okay. But I just don't think it's there compared to the 6R80. The 6R80 hard parts need to be upgraded because the clutches and the clamp force is that good. Jake explained it in the video that we were talking about. He's like, I think the clamping force is so great in the 6R80, hard parts fail. 10R80s don't have enough clamping force to break stuff, so the clutches slip. So until the clamping force exceeds the mechanical limits of the hardware, then you will not see the 10R80 be as viable as the 6R80, because the 6R80 clutch pack is physically bigger, has more clamping force, and it has so much clamping force, it breaks parts. The 10R80 does not necessarily break parts, it just slips the clutches when it's pissed off, meaning there's not enough clamping force on the clutches. That's what he explained, and once he said that, I said, you're 100% right. Oliver Bryan says, off topic, I got my base file 10 days ago and I told my tuner the car was still in the shop. Am I messing up someone's daily list? Absolutely not. When you get a tune, we don't give a fuck when you send it in. We don't care at what time frame you send in the log, as long as it's within your 6-month revision window. Buy a tune, get your LRX, flash the tune, or drop it off at the shop. And let's say you did that January 1st. Bam. If in March 28th, we received the first log, or May 28th, sorry. If you buy the tune January 1st, the car's not done until May 20th, and we can get the logs done in 3 days, you're within your 6-month revision window. You're good. We don't care when you do it, as long as it's within your 6-month revision window. A lot of people go, hey, Alex, I sent you, I won't be able to send you the log till tomorrow. I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Katie Kelly says 2B equals 2 bristles. I am not going to blame Circle D for this, okay? I'll just say there was trash in the system, and we're good to go. That is funny, though. Me and EPA standing 10 toes, fuck that. What 350 be to Dark Horse? I don't disbelieve it. I just want to see the comparison. Joseph Bargo? Joseph Bargo, you didn't know that a 350 demolished a Dark Horse? Hennessy, out of all places, put that video out. Hennessy 350 versus Dark Horse. You didn't see the video? He beat it by like 10 buses. Like, it wasn't even close. It was a 350R versus a Dark Horse. And, bro, it was... I'm going to shut the fuck up. It wasn't even close. I don't know why y'all jocking that shit. A 350, guys, if I got myself into a 350, see, this is the problem I'm having, right? I would love a 350. But the problem is, it'd be just a roll car. And let's say the Corvette's running. It wouldn't be that great of a roll car. But one of the better things I think I can showcase on the 350 over a Boss 302, don't get me wrong, the Boss 302 Laguna Seca silver and red is a bucket list car. So is the Celine S351. That doesn't mean I'm going to get it. But I can get myself into a GT350 pretty easily. It's just a payment. It's just, if I'm willing to spend $650 to $700 a month for a car payment, I can get it. No problem. Tomorrow. But is there enough juice there to squeeze? Because this is the content I would do for it. Stock, 60 to 130. Forget drag racing. Stock, 60 to 130. Tune, 60 to 130. Header, 60 to 130. E85, 60 to 130. CJ. That's right. A Cobra jet intake, 60 to 130. And you guys are going to be like, holy shit, that thing's fast. Because if you understand that the Predator heads / 350 heads and the 350 cams are so freaking badass, and you're revving that son of a bitch over 8,000 RPMs and it just keeps making power. But then what? Then what do you do after that? You go right to twin turbo. Right to twin turbo, right? So now you're going to be into it for $20,000, and then what am I going to do? Now I got to get a T56 in the motherfucker. A fuel system I don't need a fuel system till a little while, but it's not worth it to me. I think a Boss 302 is better overall because it is a lot cheaper. Actually, not really. The Laguna Seca is $40,000. The flat plane crank. And we say bye-bye, educated in real time. Joseph Bargo, where have you been? Listen to them RPMs and that overhead view. Oh, drag racing? I want to see the road course. Oh my God, the road course comparison. This motherfucker. Yeah, the 350 should be right there with the Dark Horse. Or beat it. Sorry, guys, don't watch drag racing content. Thanks for educating. You got it, Joseph Bargo. Hey, look, he came in here new, got educated. It's all good. Understand, Joseph Bargo, we don't give two shits about road racing here. This ain't a road racing channel. We ain't doing that shit. Why? Because the vast majority of people that own Mustangs roll race or drag race. And at this point, I think roll racing is overtaking drag racing. I just don't think the Mustang is that impressive roll racing. And this is why. Nobody has built a Mustang to roll race like they would build it for drag racing. The only one that's close right now is Cameron Fisher. I think he's out in Texas. Got an FFRE motor in it. Turbo 400. Twin turbo deal. Tuned by Lund. And that car is probably the one I would put my money on if you're going to see a roll race Ford Mustang get close to 200 mile an hour in a roll race event. That is like a very rare thing to see. Now, if Brett LaSala decided to roll race his car, you and I both know that thing would rape. If Lund decided to, if any badass drag racer, if any name your drag racer here configured their car for roll stuff, it would dominate. But they don't do that. They configure it for drag racing. Maybe it's the suspension setup, the 60 foot is everything, but let's just say somebody got out there and got the nuts, got the cojones, and said, these R8s, these GTRs, all you need is a properly configured Mustang to be set up for roll race. And I think people are going to be put on notice, but no one's willing to do that. No one's willing to do that. The GTRs shine in the roll race event. The R8s shine in the roll race event. But that's max effort. Max effort Mustangs run 6s in the quarter mile. You're good, Joseph. You're in the right place to learn. Exactly. That was a roll race, not a drag race. Here we go. Alex, a Coyote Swap ZR1 will ruin a 350 in a straight line. The car's going to weigh like 3,100 pounds. Exactly. My goal. See, a lot of people are going, your ZR1, Alex, you're going to ruin it. What am I going to ruin? It's a chassis. It's a chassis at this point. It's a light car with a transaxle, with a high revving, high compression, boosted, race gas equipped 32 valve dual overhead cam motor in the front. Just shut off the Ford thing. Like, please stop thinking Ford, Coyote, blah, 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 blah. A 3,100 pound car that has 800 plus horsepower at about 14 PSI. Race gas, dual overhead cam, 11 to 1, 12. No, I got 12 to 1 compression in the bitch. It's got Gen 2 heads. It's got Gen 2 cams. It's got Gen 3 bottom end. It's going to have a 2650 on top of it. It's going to have a 1700cc injector. What is wrong with that? Why would you hate on that if I can make it all work? Please stop. You should get a Mark IV Supra. Get something a little different in the 80 shitbox. Dark Horse lap time in Virginia International Raceway, 2:51.2. 350R did it in 2:51.8. There you go. So they're comparable. I thought this was a racing channel. We don't follow Steve Schluckenberg here. Cameron Cars, no joke, says Oliver Bryan. I had a Lund 2 for road course time attack stuff for 2 years. Been great. Hey, Justin Bargo, love it. I have a 4 pump hat with triple 285s. What would you think it's worth? 600, 700 bucks? Plot twist, the Blue Goose is a roll race car now. Bro, that would be so... Nobody will do it. But you know what? Somebody should. Somebody should. Somebody should go, you know what? GTR guys, Lambo guys, da-da-da-da-da. You guys have been living too high off the hog for too fucking long, thinking that you're king ding-a-ling with your all-wheel drive cars. Let's say somebody says, I'm going to build a roll car, but you build it just like a drag car. You literally do the exact same shit that you would on a drag car. And you don't think cars that have gone 220 or 215 mile an hour in the quarter can't go 220 plus? Don't they have, how long is the roll race length at Texas TK? Lap times on the road course with the average time will be come down to the driver's skill, not car. I'm sure a good driver in the Ball 302 would put some seconds on an average Joe. Oh, come on, of course. Because you put a 2500 down with rear-wheel drive, the Vipers have proved it. Did you find a custom oil pan yet for the ZR1? Dude, the video was uploaded yesterday. ZR1 Pure is sponge in the air right now. Don't forget the leaf spring, exactly. And if I do coilover, right, I get rid of the big stupid leaf springs in the car. C6 GTD with a leaf, right. People would rather see you struggle with the LS9 heat soak. I agree. That motherfucker gonna move. My fat car is 4,000 pounds. Another example of a bad Coyote info. Someone on Reddit said that you need O-pump gears for an NA Coyote since he always bashes the limiter on burnouts and apparently no other way to do a burnout. Exactly. Semi-truck technician says your swap ZR1 is going to weigh more than 3,100 pounds with the blower. What do you think it weighed with an LS9? An LS9 weighs about the same as a Coyote with a blower. Here we go. LS9 weight. LS9 weight. And then we'll do Predator weight. So the LS9 is 531 pounds. So let's do 2020 GT500 motor weight. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. God damn it. Here we go. Fuck me. LS9 weight, let's say, if I do Predator weight, it'll pop up weird shit. Coyote motor weight. So, and you'll add 120 to this or something. So 444. So let's say 531, 444. A blower is not 90 pounds. So let's say a blower is, yeah, let's just give it 90 pounds. It's the same weight, right? 531, LS9, Coyote is 444. Add another 100 pounds to it. Fuck it. It's about the same weight. Why do you think Coyote motors are heavier? Who is talking to you? Semi-truck technician. Did you think the Coyote was heavier than an LS? Semi-truck technician? Thank you for the blessings. I don't know. People have the idea that the Coyote, because it's physically wider than an LS, that it is heavier. Nope. Who wants to sell that 4 hat with pumps? I'm interested. Someone needs to shut the GTR R8 cars up. Man, that would be badass if Lund did it. Lund will never do it. Never do it. Just wish, I think we determined that the Coyote is lighter by the end of the LS9 too. C6 chassis is king. Low 3000s, awesome setup. Nothing wrong with a Ford motor in it, but people love when you throw an LS in a Fox body. Exactly. Half mile maybe. That was without a blower EPA. I was in your old neck of the woods yesterday, Alex. Holyoke, bro. You must have seen a dead ass town. Holyoke is a sad fucking town. Ever thought of doing a C6 Z06 build? Yep, but not with an LS. Coyote weighs 444, LS3 is 454. Essentially an LS9 without a blower. So closer than I thought. Exactly. So I wouldn't. He's like, it's going to be a lot heavier. I'm a semi-truck technician, and once you put a Coyote in it, it's going to be way heavier than an LS9. Then you figure out the motors weigh the fucking same. But Alex, 4 cams equals 200 more pounds. That sneeze blew my speakers. Tapping in late, we'll watch from the beginning. The parts farm needs to hook up with some non-striped out fender hardware. Non-striped out. The parts farm needs to hook Theo up with some non-striped out fender hardware. Oh, non-stripped. Sorry. Bro. Dude. Okay, I'm not going to blame anybody for this, but when I took that fender apart, there were sheet metal screws holding some shit in, and I went, okay, I have to get under a stock ZR1. I'm not blaming anyone for anything, but when I got under the car and I'm taking the fender out, I'm like, why is there a sheet metal screw? Why is there a wood screw? There's a wood screw. But it looks like there's wood screws all the way down for the side skirt. And I went, is this stock? Does anyone out there have a ZR1? Get underneath it, under the side skirts. What's holding it in? So I saw it and I went, okay, maybe the previous owner, didn't think this thing was a great Corvette, so let it go for a cheap price. Even though I paid $60,000, it wasn't necessarily cheap. But I was very happy with the price, very happy with the purchase, no issue. Then I get in there, and all the top screws are torque screws. They're proper. Then I get underneath, and they're sheet metal screws, and I'm like, this is a carbon fender and a carbon side skirt. So I wondered what was going on. Carbon fiber. Terminator Coyote says, this is definitely the peasant chat with a stupid question comparison. How fast have the Fat House Fab 350s been? The fastest stick shift Fat House car has been, I think, 830, and I think... quarter mile, I think they've been 7s. Fat House. Let me see. Fat House. Fab GT350 record. Let me see. I think it was like a 7. Yeah, 758 at 187. 3 years ago. But, I think this is a Turbo 400. Turbo 400. And it's the same car. Again, Fat House. Tons of respect for them. But this, if I'm not mistaken, is a Turbo 400 car. That bitch would have fail-safed if it had a stock computer. Just that pedal job, it would have fail-safed. By the way, the best thing about their videos is they're in fucking 4K, bro. Are they 4K? 60 frames a second, so maybe not 4K. Look at that. Auto shifting. No nothing. Big old beard. Look at the dude is chilling. Again, y'all want to go drag racing? If you want to go drag racing, Turbo 400. Turbo 400. One, 2, 9, 60 foot. 4s in the 8th. 4.9. 7.5, 187. Now that same exact vehicle with a stick shift was getting after it too. And that was, in my opinion, even more impressive. Yeah, I mean, and I think, just listen to this. This is just ear. I'm going to shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, guys. I got to see this again. Look at the fucking tack right here. Look at this fucking tack. Right here is a 6. This is a 6. This is where Chevys stop. So you're telling me, you guys are telling me that if I shove a stick shift in a Corvette that has the ability to rev this high, it won't be impressive? I don't know. I don't know who would hate that. Like, who would hate? See, the people that hate the fact that I'm doing this to the Corvette have no idea of what a Coyote style motor can do. Have no clue. They think, like the Cletus guys. Cletus guys are so fucking predictable. It's not even funny. They do these little interviews. I came across it on Facebook. I'm like, my algorithm's fucked up if they're showing up on my feed. And they're like, what shouldn't happen anymore in the industry? Oh, what do you want people to? What mod is?
Straight piped Coyotes.
That was a straight piped Coyote variant. Did that sound bad? No, this is the problem, Cletus guys, Jack, Stan, Jimmy, and the Beaner. You live in Bradenton. The west coast of Florida is full of retards, and they all do the same thing. Borla, fuck my ears. Attack my ears, mufflers. Shit ass, blow my asshole out, sound MBRPs, right? Bobo headers. They put on the exhaust that's the cheapest in that area just to make noise. Straight
pipe Coyotes.
Okay. Only rears. That is another record that GT350 Fat House has. They have the quickest and fastest only rear equipped car on the planet. If I had a beard like that, I'd tuck in my fire suit. Semi-truck technician ZR1s are around 3,300 stock. Bro, I'm so ready to get after this coming year. I can't wait to get up on Bowling Green and go down the track. Local corner market Indian says, we drag race in my country with Nissan pickups and guns on top looking for new friends. That beard added a 10th. Semi-truck didn't say Coyote engine weighed more. How much does your ZR1 weigh? 3,300. I don't know how people live with a big old beard. Me neither. And no blow-by or detonation on that pass. Interesting. What's he launching at? Like 5,800. That stick car is where it's at. No lift shift. Man shit. No, he lives. I'm glad someone actually going to swap the ZR1 and make it drive this time, unlike the clout chasers for a favor. And I think they did the right thing. They put a boss motor in there and just said, look, now if they would have gone a step further, they would have realized how difficult it is to mate everything up. Now, I don't know much about C6s to know, let's say if you upgrade to like a Power Glide or a Turbo 400, is the torque tube still at play? Maybe it is. I don't know. I thought it would be a drive shaft, but it might be just a torque tube. So if you upgrade to a Power Glide on a C6 or a Turbo 400, is it, let me just look it up. Let me see. TH400 C6 Corvette. This is what we do. I've told you guys a million times. What you do is you Google everything if you don't know. And yeah, it looks like it retains a torque tube bullshit. Because this is a Turbo 400 conversion for a C6 ZR1. Now, oh wow. So it's diff and trans. Boy, that looks, how much? Request a quote. Sheesh. How much you think this is? Let's say if I was to get after it with a Coyote twin turbo. Like what's the world record for a C6 ZR1? I think it's 7.9, isn't it? Right? What is the world record for a C6 ZR1? I think it's 7.9. C6 ZR1 world. And it's a turbo 400, I think. No. I think it's like a 7-second car. Let's see, quarter mile. No, it's a white one, I think. It's a white C6 ZR1 that has gone, 790. And I think it has a Power Glide or a Turbo 400. But, yeah, I think it's somewhere. Maybe you guys send me a link before the show's over because we got 10 minutes. But I think it's a 7.9. You don't think a Coyote 3,300 pound car with a turbo 400 can go 7.9? Because if I get froggy and let's say my ZR1 is getting after it with a Coyote, and I said, you know what? I think I can make 1,100 with this Coyote for now. Or just call FFRE. Bro, let's get something that holds a lot of power. I boost it to the moon. Shove a 400 in it. You don't think I could make a 3,300 pound car go 7.9 with a fucking Coyote? I could probably do it with a stock Coyote twin turbos. We are less than 2 months away from a 4-year membership mark. Any thoughts on the next logo? Are you sure? Okay, we could put it up to a vote. So the Holly Haram logo, according to Coyote Kelly, is the highest tier there is. What do you guys think should be the next logo for the OG followers? Matt Motohead said, Alex, after looking for a 3-valve and getting disgusted with the crazy prices, a clapped out piece of shit, here I am looking for a 07 to 12 GT500. Is there any issues I should look for? Any tuning? You can tune all of them. 07 to 10, you're going to need a N-gauge with a ZT2 box and maybe SC. I'm not going to mention SCT because you guys I'm going to get requests for SCT 07 to 10 GT500 tuning and I'm going to hate my life. But there's tuning available. I would get an 1112. Wide bands, tune it with an N-gauge, tune it with a LRX, I think. Tune it with anything. I think there's a C6 Coyote with a swap floating around. No, it's not real though. What do you think is the best Coyote exhaust combination out there? MagnaFlow Adult Series exhaust, aka Street Series. Inch and 7/8 headers, X or H pipe, whatever you want. It's like 15K. It's white. Mad Motorhead, stick with the 11 to 12. He's right. Look at that. 10 and under don't have wide bands. Look at that. SCT mile an hour. You can install. 11 to 12 is the best all around. It has aluminum block. Exactly. 11 to 12, in my opinion, is the best GT500 there is out there. Do you think PBH will sell the C6 Coyote swap parts? No. Alex, stock 4x4 Super Cab 2020 F-150 is here. How beneficial would a Lund tune be for the quarter? The tune, trans tune, bump, redline, yes. Want to race Silverado 6.2, HP suggestions, yes. Everything. You're gonna gain mile an hour. You're gonna gain get an 18 manifold in it. It's like 6 mile an hour in the quarter mile because you can rev it past 7,500 RPMs. Whereas the stock manifold, anything after 6,800, it rolls off real fast. So get an 18 manifold in there, stock map sensor, E85 tune. I went 12.2 at 114 or something on the street. Lethal Performance, white ZR1 has the record. Stock trans? No, it doesn't. The Power Glide or Turbo 400 one ran 7.9. They still have the torque tube. Wow. OG guys get a Ditty pick. Wow. Might as well make it a picture of a 2.3 blower. Bubble headers. Smoke detector. A smoke detector? Holy shit, a smoke detector. That's pretty good. Our number 2 neck tattoo. Picture of the potato toothbrush. Oh, wait, that doesn't exist. The YOLO picture. Best setup for a Coyote. The D-Mass. Okay. So we could do the D-Mass or a smoke detector. I'll put it up for a vote Tuesday. If we're 2 months from it on Tuesday, Talking Shit Tuesday, I'll put it up for a vote. Which should be the next... I got to write this down because I'll forget. Which should be the next logo? Oh, here are the measurements I got to take for the torque tube stuff. Jake is like, okay, you measure this to this, this to this. So thank God I found this because I thought I lost it. But he's like, you know, measure from here to here and here to here, and we'll get the bell housing situation. Oh, fuck. I need a paper. Oh, look, a baby picture. Boy, there's a baby picture. I just looked at a baby picture of myself. I was 2. I look so cute. I'm like the best looking baby. I'm like the best looking baby ever. The best looking adult ever. All right. So, Tuesday. Vote on new avatar or whatever for longest members. And we're gonna do one beeping smoke detector. And what was the other one? What the hell did I say? DMAS. Okay, and we can think of more options. I'll make a post on Patreon and on the YouTube page to see what we should put up for a vote. Measure from the taint. Wood screws are normal. Fender liner. Wood screws are normal for fender liner and mud flaps. Got it. Alex, you gonna go elephant dick on the intake on the ZR1? Yes. Gonna have a 149 PMAS. Look, the ZR1 is gonna be a culmination of my collective knowledge of swaps. Jake got me on the fucking drive kit. Department of Boost got me on the bell housing. I've worked and I'm talking to John about some ideas that I have on blower stuff and configuring the cold air so that it fits it in a way that it's nice. But again, I have to figure out mounting the AC condenser, mounting the radiator, and mounting the heat exchanger. It's going to be fun. The blue stuff, blueprint, the Dykem. Oh my God, Dykem. The Dykem. Oh, bro, Dykem. Oh my God, the Dykem. Hey man, what's that thing you do for the porting of the heads? The blue thing, the blueprint. The guy, blueprint. I have Lund N-Gauge that I've been holding on for my truck. I've only been paired to one other vehicle. If I get any tune for my truck, can we update the tunes indefinitely for future mods? What do you mean indefinitely? What does that mean indefinitely? That's a weird thing to say, indefinitely. You got to pay. Why does it look like a dick? Peace, EPA. DMAS, Mad Motorhead, Void 13 to 14. Overpriced junk. 11 to 12 is where it's at. 11 to 12, in my opinion, is where it's at. Measure from the taint. What's your print? Why is your printer blown up? It thinks I put new paper in it, so it's like cycling. Oh, Rich 50 a Boostain can. Mad Motorhead 1314 not worth it unless you can't plan on keeping it stock. Otherwise, years will tap out at 850 with a stock bottom head. I agree. Remember when I said that the 11 to 12 GT500s were the better buy and people thought it was fucking nuts because they make 662, 13 and 4. It doesn't matter the moment you start modifying it. The moment you start modifying a GT500, you can get an 11 to 12 with 373s from the factory. You have 331s in the fucking 13 to 14s with a 266 first gear. You need a 373 with a 266 first to get out. But no, Ford wanted to go 0 to 60 in first gear, so they made first gear so fucking long with 331s and a 266 first for that, and then the 200 mile an hour top speed. When we modify them shits, the first thing you do is put 373s in it. First thing. So why not just get a fucking 11 to 12, save $20,000, put a TVS blower on it, and you have literally a car that can keep up, if not beat, the 13 to 14. Come on, stop it. What about our MBRP resonator? That video is why I traded my 17 GT for a 12 GT500. Nice. Also, I like the look of the Boss manifold. Any benefits of the 18 over the Boss? No benefit. Both get the same tune, basically. A close-up of ML's plaque-infested teeth. That's funny. ZR1 guy's going to put a hit out on you. They got to catch me first. Ultra Performance. Are you willing to sell any of the ZR1 parts you're using? But specifically the Evans accessories. Although altered. That all went with the motor. All of the engine accessories went with the motor and went, see ya. Nestor Barrios bought everything. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. Today we talked a little bit about, they do need 410s. You're not wrong. We talked a little bit about the ZR1 woes on the bell housing stuff, but I think I'm figuring it out. It's going to need either custom oil pan, or subframe work, and I don't want to do either. I'd rather just do oil pan. And we talked about comparing a new GT Mustang versus a C8 Corvette. C8 Corvettes are about the same price, and then we compared that even to a GT350, and the GT350, in my opinion, is the better buy overall, but it's still going to be over $60,000 for a very good low-mile GT350, so it's up to you if it's worth it or not. And then we finished it up by talking about GT500 and which logo is going to be the new logo for the longest-standing members of the show. Guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go to the gym, get my workout on, and then probably just hang out, have lunch, and just chill. I got to do oil changes on the cars. I got to change the oil on the fucking Cadillac and Donnie. God damn it. I hate my weekends being maintenance weekends. I don't have, like, hangout weekends anymore. Oh, my weekends are like maintenance and working on cars. It's shitty. But anyway, what are you going to do? This is the life I chose. I'm out of here. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I'll see the rest of you on Talking Shit Tuesday. See you later.